safety side, he needs more dividends. On the Boustead side, profits are falling.
Yeah, so he needs to ensure that the profits are.
So Khairie, I read a story on Boustead over the weekend. You went with Kathy and Siumang. So how is he like? Because he didn't really give face-to-face interviews for the past, 13 years. How is he like?
Yeah, and for the paper, I think, and actually it's a pretty big interview. Like you said, it's rare that he gives a face-to-face interview. We were told right before we went in that this is actually his first face-to-face interview in 13 years, at least, that we know of. So immediately to us, we had an awareness that, okay, this is a rare opportunity to get a glimpse into what this man thinks and how his thought processes are. And to me, also personally, right, when you say Tan Sri Lodin, you imagine a man who's looking stern in his pictures and his newspapers, looks serious, right? But when we went to his office, it was time for us to go in. He opened the door with a big smile on his face, and immediately that preconception is out the window for me.
That makes you guys very comfortable as well during the interview, isn't it?
Yes.
So some actually say that they have been pared down their non-core assets, right, to actually cover up their losses in net profit and also in revenue. But what do you think? What did he say about this when you asked him this question?
Well, yes, and this is the main point that we were trying to address because Boustead Holdings is very diverse. It has a lot of subsidiaries, right? And a lot of these subsidiaries have been showing slow performances with some exceptions. And yet, they're keeping up dividend payout ratios of at least 70%, according to him. So we asked him, why are you doing this? Like, does it not make sense to maybe cut back on dividends and pare down your gearing? Because gearing is also high at, I think, 0.9 times. And are you selling off these non-core assets to make up for the shortfall in profits so you can keep on paying dividends? And when we put to him that question, his answer was pretty much no. It's not a conscious, concerted strategy to make up for the shortfall in profits. But to him, it's a coincidence. One thing he kept repeating to us during the interview was he has no sentiments about assets, about businesses. If it doesn't perform, thank you very much, you may go now. That's what he implied to us. And according to him, Boustead has shut down some businesses that has been non-performing.
But the thing is, he's still holding on Nottingham University and the other aviation company. What is the issue there, and why is he so upbeat about Nottingham University and also the other subsidiary?
The University of Nottingham, right?
Yeah.
Well, what we got a sense of during the interview is that he believes in the University of Nottingham's synergy with his other businesses. For example, plantation, right? So to him, he sees this Uni of Nottingham as a potential supporting entity in terms of R&D, for example. So that helps, for example, plantation, that helps Niaga, for example. This is another key subsidiary for Boustead. So he believes that there's a role within the group for Uni of Nottingham, and according to him also, it's currently at break-even levels in terms of students. So it's not like it's a very poorly performing subsidiary.
So apart from all these subsidiaries that are not really performing, when you wrote about Affin Holdings Bhd, and it doesn't look very rosy as well. Affin Holdings hasn't been doing well for the past few quarters. And what did he say about this particular affiliate?
Oh yes, we asked him about Affin, of course, and what we started out by asking is, compared to '97, right, when the Asian financial crisis started, would he say Affin is in a better position now? And it was him that went out and told us, '97 wasn't really the worst situation we've seen. I was there in the early '80s, and it was horror stories all the way. That's a direct quote. So he went ahead and gave us that extra perspective, saying that he's been there for 30 odd years and things are much better compared to even then. So according to him, he's quite happy given that perspective, because at one point the NPLs was very high, like a quarter of their assets were non-performing. And right now, I think as of June 30th, it was just under 2%, which is right in the middle if you compare to other peers, right? Some banks are a bit higher, some banks are a bit lower. So they're doing okay, according to him. He's happy with the performance given the situation surrounding the economy and whatnot. Of course, it could have been better. A lot of things could be better, but to him, he's satisfied.
So overall for Boustead, we saw that we actually saw a little bit of jump in net profit for the first half of this year. and actually it's because of their non-core assets. They pare down non-core assets. Hikmat Jendala. So yeah, Jendala Hikmat. So what did he say about the overall turnaround plan? Why is he so upbeat about CPO price coming back up again?
With all these subsidiaries, right? Different performances.
Correct.
He went through each and every one with us, which is partly why the interview went on for 3 hours, almost 3 hours and a half.
That's very long.
I agree. So, according to him, some of these subsidiaries which has been doing poorly, they're on the brink, according to him. Like, say, Pharmanega has been doing well, but plantations, he thinks CPO prices will be at around 2,800 ringgit levels in the near future. So, that will help plantation earnings, which makes up, I think, about 30% of their earnings. And BHIC, the Boustead Heavy Industries Group, the shipbuilding arm, he also thinks that the worst is over, because if you recall, that dragged on earnings last year. According to him, he thinks that this unit will not be seeing losses going forward. So, and we also had an analyst saying that if BHIC does turn a corner and start registering profits again, there'll be a turning point for the group itself, Boustead Holdings. So based on what he told us, these different subsidiaries, right? Some are doing well, some are not doing so well, but a lot of them are now starting to see some uptick, or at least have bottomed out. And that's why he's upbeat about the future.
So Tan Sri Lodin actually wears many hats. He was in 1MDB, now he's in LTAT and also in Boustead. Is he under pressure to give out more dividends to LTAT?
According to him, LTAT has not been seeing so much income from stock trading and whatnot, so he's been relying more on dividends. But at the same time, he's also MD at Boustead Holdings. And when it comes time to declare dividends, because of his many hats, I suspect the question for him is, how does he balance the different needs and the conflicting duties of his?
So what did he say about that?
Yeah, so
you guys ask.
So according to him, he doesn't feel that much pressure. So because LTAT needs dividends, but for Boustead, profits have been falling, right? So according to him, he doesn't feel so much pressure because it's a question of balance. So he's been trying hard to get a balance, and it seems these asset disposals have been coincidentally helping, based on his own words.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.